Hello and welcome to another episode of the WiggingGoblins. Today we are joined by
OC Dave,
for his first appearance in a while.
how you doing?
And we're going to continue our speculation series, but the topic of discussion today will be Crash Bandicoot.
It's about time.
It is about time. We're going to look into the rumours that have been generating these past couple of months, it's been, hasn't it?
It has, about the last 3 months.
Yeah, we'll look into the history and what us fans want to see. Obviously, we grew up with Crash as a kid.
Yeah.
And of late, there has been a few Twitter rumours and things spiraling around the internet, isn't there, David?
Should we start?
Yeah, let's start.
Alright, the first one I got in while thinking was the PlayStation of the Brazil Twitter account. And they post an image of Crash Bandicoot, and this was last month in November. And it had the tagline translated, "Crash wants a hug." And there was nothing really particular about it. I mean, it looked like the old PS1, IP of Crash Bandicoot. And it looked like it was falling. And that was basically about it. I don't think anyone really thought anything of it. But it was only when the PS4 was released, they had the advert, this is for the players.
The PlayStation exclusive advert.
And,
And what we saw from that, this is what created the mass hysteria, really, about it could be a new Crash game, was there was a sign that you can see on the screen now that indicates it has a Crash Bandicoot silhouette, and it had an arrow pointing up towards Sony computer. The entertainment logo, it was like an orange diamond. So
it was the original that started up on the PS1, yeah.
But you picked up, there was a dustbin.
Yeah, no one's actually mentioned this. It's probably nothing, but underneath it is a waste bin. And, alright, it might be a bit too harsh or whatever, but I think it means they're pulling him from the shit and trying to,
recycle him.
Hey, what? It could be a recycle bin. Well
bring
done.
out the bad, bring in the good.
Exactly, and hopefully it'll be returning to Sony. So
well, fingers crossed. But you also picked up a Denmark Sony Entertainment Denmark.
Yeah, that was the next thing. That's what actually I started thinking, and I thought, I reckon this is a bit of a coincidence. But again, it had just a normal one from it looked like very old. It turns out
it was just a post. Wasn't
the
it?
picture, when it was translated, another tagline, and it says, "What do you hope is under your Christmas tree this year?" And it had a picture of Crash Bandicoot in the old Santa outfit with a sack over his shoulder with a crystal in it. But people were like, "Oh, Naughty Dog's going to do it," because there was a crate underneath him in the bottom right of the picture, which says Naughty Dog. And but the thing was, the picture turned out to be, which is obvious, it was from 1999, 2000.
Just a fan.
Yeah, and apparently it turns out that it was in magazines. I even think I remember seeing it as well. And
that brings us on to, obviously, you say Naughty Dog. Obviously, we all know now that Activision, since 2008, are now the publisher. They own the rights.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no developer. Obviously, they're looking for developers if they are looking to continue Crash.
But
but obviously, Activision was the whole. Oh yeah, are they gonna carry it on? Are they gonna carry it on? Well, this Adam Boyes who came forward, who works for Sony, because the rumor was that Sony were gonna be the publisher, start creating games for it, and it'd be a Sony exclusive again.
Well, that's what I thought when they removed any trace of Crash Bandicoot whatsoever from their website.
Which was that
so
was. So
I thought, I don't know. I reckon Sony's brought it back, but yeah.
But yeah, Adam Boyes came forward and said, "Look, listen, Activision own the rights. You have to speak to them if they're going to do a Crash game." Meaning, for us fans, that again is another little rumor that was circulating. And like you said, the removal of their Crash from the website, I don't know what that could be, David. Maybe another developer, another publisher?
That's what I'm thinking, because if that's the case, if Activision still own it, then why the hell did they just get rid of every trace? Alright, it was quite embarrassing. But still, why have they removed everything they've done from the website? It don't make sense.
Exactly. But, okay, that and all, that's basically the rumour that we're going on at the moment.
Well, I mean, they were saying that they were exploring ways to resurrect Crash Bandicoot. This was last month, so obviously, people were like, "Oh, Activision still owns him or whatever." But I don't know. I mean, what was it? Early October. Dan Amrick, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Who's the Activision community manager? He said that currently they had no plans for Crash Bandicoot, another title or anything like that. And he said the game needs to have a really good reason to exist. And I'm thinking, it's funny because before I even said anything, the next bit was, fan support is not enough to get a game made on the level that you're looking for.
Charming.
Well, isn't that the best reason? I mean, they're only thinking about money anyway. But
we need somebody like Naughty Dog that care for the fans, and basically they love platform games, didn't they? That was the history of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that was their favourite.
Jason Rubin and Andy and Gavin, the co-founders, they love platforming.
Legends.
Yeah, I know. And the reason they brain crashed to PlayStation was because obviously at the time, David, Sega,
Sonic,
and Nintendo,
Mario.
So it was the smart thing to do. And if we look into the history and how Crash has spiraled out of fucking control, Well, you can see the problems, but obviously with the Naughty Dog creators, they joined Universal Interactive Studios, didn't they?
Yeah,
as
that's
the
right.
publisher?
Yeah, and then next
But
thing
then
was
Sony, made negotiations so they could get a freeway cut because they saw Crash would be their little baby,
their
their
mascot,
gem.
their IP, yeah.
And obviously Mark Cherney, as we all know, who at the time was the vice president of Universal Interactive Studios. Yeah, he also teamed up with them to create Crash Bandicoot, which, I mean, the first one, David, 1996 was
incredible. I mean, you know, I was a Sega fanboy. You know,
Yep.
still am. Like, really, like a lot of like, you know, their gems, especially on the Mega Drive and the Genesis.
Fucking hell, don't give us your life story.
Hey, it's gonna be you bastard. Anyway, I honestly, I never saw anything like this before. In fact, I think I saw this before Super Mario 64.
100,000 copies were sold at the, I think, the
And you can see why.
And it had Super Mario 64 to compete with.
Well, there you go. I mean, there was no other title.
It didn't have the history, did it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before it.
Jesus Christ.
Just, there was already like, that must have been what, like 10 years already history of Mario. No, before, even more than that, if you're including, you know, Donkey Kong in the early 80s. And this thing comes out of nowhere. No one ever saw anything like it.
I know.
And incredible. It was the reason to get a PlayStation.
So from this, they did 3 fantastic games that stood on their own legs.
In my eyes, the only true Crash Bandicoot games.
Strikes Back and Warped. And then they did Crash Team Racing.
I know that's one of your favourite ones.
Well, I don't like to brag, but
I'm the best.
Who wants to challenge me?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to beat him now. And I'm not even that bad.
But yeah,
Arse Liquid, you know.
Obviously, Naughty Dog went on to do their own thing, to do Jack and Daxter, because they felt they didn't want no strings attached. Sony was involved. It was just a bit of a mess.
Yeah,
in the end.
No, exactly.
And obviously, like we said about the money side of it, they probably
exactly. They, for what they were doing, which was basically everything, they were just getting done out so much by the profit, and good luck to them, because like you said, they didn't want any strings or anything like that. They're obligated to do so. They wanted to be like free, you know, to do what they wanted to do.
So along came Eurocom, who developed Crash Bash.
Really? We're gonna go there.
But I didn't mind. Obviously, I reckon you're going to say the repetitive nature. Because a lot of the levels were just boxes. You remember the first one where you get boxes, pick them up, throw them.
And then they did like 4 or 5
the
same
the level design
skins. Yeah, okay.
I didn't mind the feel to that.
At the time, you know what it was? I was craving another Crash Bandicoot game. And that's why I think I wanted to love it, you know, so badly.
Exactly.
I mean, alright, as a party game with your mates, it is a lot of fun. Like the other day, what we did, and you know all that.
Yeah. Overall, it wasn't really a Crash. It was like trying to rival Mario Party, of course.
Yeah.
But then Konami partnered with Universal Interactive Studios, didn't they?
One of my favourite studios.
This is when I felt Crash Bandicoot, literally, David. I don't, no disrespect to the companies, but by making it cross-platform, it lost the soul that was PlayStation.
Well, that's the whole thing that happened with Sonic as well, wasn't it? Like when the Sega Dreamcast died, and they started putting it on. Look at Sonic. Poor fucker. You know, and he was one of my favourites, and just not the same. And that's what happened with Crash Bandicoot. That was the Wrath of Cortex, wasn't it?
Yeah, by Traveller's Tale was the developer, I believe.
They were, yeah.
But then, obviously, things like Vicarious Visions came in to create...
The handheld ones.
Yeah, GBA games.
That was pretty good, though, man. The first one, Exodus, I've got that.
Then they also did their own cross-platform game, Crash Nitro Kart, which was pretty much similar to the original.
Yeah,
they took the same mechanics, didn't they?
I know you weren't mad about it when we played it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the design. Obviously, the design has to change over time. You got to put your own spin on it.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
But it did play well. I'm not gonna dispute it. It played with the slide.
Oh yeah, they still had that.
Snake, speed boosts, which
I didn't actually find out how to do about like this year. How embarrassing's that? That's why I kept beating me. All those.
Anyway, moving on forward. Yeah. Then also, it's going at... Wasn't it? Who was it? Vivinal? What was it, David? The people that took over them?
Does it matter? Was it Vivendi or Vivendi?
Vivendi? I don't know. But they did their Vivendi Universal game. So they bought Universal Interactive Studios.
Yeah, that's right.
So then they were the publisher of Crash now. So they owned the rights to Crash.
Fucking hell.
So they did a Spyro and a Crash spin-off, which, do we go into it?
Oh, the handhelds? No.
Let's not go into that.
They're not apparently not that good.
But just before that, Travis Tales did do one more game. I did miss it out.
And do you know what? I've really enjoyed it. Twin Sanity.
Now, my reason behind it, you see the cough, I didn't like it because it was basically a free roaming Crash game. It wasn't narrow.
But I know you're the linear.
They have to change it, don't they, James? Sooner or later.
Well, you said it. You said it. You know, it's just like, you know, that's what's
Mario. Actually, tell a lie. Look at Mario Galaxy. You're right.
There you go, free roaming.
Yeah, they have changed it
to an extent.
Well.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, but we're going to that further with what we want in the game. But
Yeah.
then we move it quickly. Radical Entertainment then partnered up with, who was it? Sierra Entertainment.
Sierra
Entertainment. Yeah, who was the publisher, and then the developer was Radical Entertainment to create Crash Team Tag Team Racing,
yeah.
Crash of the Times, Mind Over Mutant, whole new spin design. I've never seen Crash look so fucking ridiculous.
All the best ones, all my favourites. Really? Look at the fucking concept
It's like they
art.
didn't even give a shit about the fans, David. It's like maybe they just thought it's a new IP in their eyes. Let's start again. Maybe that is what they were thinking. You reckon? Whole new game?
2 words. Aku Aku. Put that picture up now.
I will.
Put that picture up
And
now.
I put the past picture up as well.
What the fuck?
I know, they didn't think about fans.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we can move on, David. Let's move on.
You
and
got me
also,
going, going now.
sorry, a mobile game they did by High Impact Games created some little spin-off games. But since 2008, Activision have owned the rights to the game.
Yeah,
and they were approached for All-Stars, is it Battle Royale?
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, yeah.
About the possibility,
which makes sense, because everyone was asking, when they started introducing like later players, they were like, they're going to have Crash Bandicoot, they're going to have, you know...
That's all I cared about. That's why I would have bought it.
I would have bought it as well. And
there's fans out there that would buy a PS4, I feel, for Crash Bandicoot.
I was going to get onto that, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I just jumped ahead.
You did jump ahead, yeah.
I don't know why Activision just didn't... Nothing. It was in the dark. No one knew about the negotiations, but it was...
So they actually contacted Activision?
Yeah, that was it, about Crash Bandicoot. Of course you would.
And what was their answer? They didn't
no one knows.
comment? Or...
I don't know. They obviously didn't agree to it because he's not been placed in the game. So that's why this is what brings us on to what we think should happen for the next game.
What we want,
what us fans want.
And this is what I've been seeing from, like, you know, the forums, people talking. The fan base, by the way, is unbelievable.
Exactly.
How many people are... That's not a good enough reason to make a game. Dan Amrick...
Yeah, I know about the fan, but I know. But Activision, as we know, it's been 3 years, or they've owned it for longer, but they haven't really done much with it.
I hope they sell it, because right now it's collecting... do you know what? I don't want them making another Crash Bandicoot game, Jamie. After the previous 2, I do not want them touching it. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that they have to sell the rights on to a new publisher, be it Sony Entertainment. Naughty Dog, with the history they've had with Crash and Daxter, Uncharted and Last of Us, it's not going to happen, is it?
No, that's why it's going to be very hard to make it feel like a Crash Bandicoot game, because obviously Naughty Dog...
I know, as much as we would love it.
And I can't see it. They need a young company, I don't want to say indie, but they need someone with the hunger that, you know, they got the same... They were like Naughty Dog, up and coming, and they want to make it, you know, for the fans, by the fans, the whole...
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, like what we said, looking at the first game, you know, where it was so fast-paced with like levels like Hog Wild...
Yeah, Boulder Dash.
Yeah.
The little polar.
So fast-paced. It was just something that I never, as a kid, it actually scared me. You gave you that attention, didn't it? It was actually a really good feeling about getting completing it.
And whereas you're in like a confined... Do you know what? It has to go back to linear. I think you're right.
The free roam, like you said, maybe implement it.
Yeah, maybe as like a hub world, like they did with like Sonic Adventure, games like that, to actually get into...
And keep the new thing. You know, the second and third games, I like the fact they implemented new abilities, so it wasn't just... You know, like, I'm going to be careful here, but you know Knack... which is done by Sony, our old friend.
I just didn't fall in love with the look.
It's a gimmick, and it over Crash Bandicoot. I want to be careful here.
It feels like, in some ways, it does feel like a Crash Bandicoot game. It looks like they've even got the same... I haven't looked into it. I don't know if they've got the same artists or it's got the same art style.
Well, Crash Bandicoot Warped as well. What I liked, I didn't the repay value. I know what you said. If you're going to pay for a game, you want to get.
I loved it, but do you know what? I think Crash Bandicoot 2 is the best Crash Bandicoot game.
With gems and crystals, basically, and it was hard to do as well.
Yeah.
Well, I still like the first one, David, and just that. But
no, I know you do. So you know, and it's quite. It can be a hard game as well.
If they don't do this and they want to create a bigger fan base, so they get the money, because it's all about money these days. Maybe they should do a HD remake of Crash Bandicoot to get other youngsters on board, because youngsters today ain't gonna know about that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. See, if Sony still had the rights as well, I think they would have. They would have actually done a HD collection anyway. Yeah, like they did with the Jack and Daxter and all that. I know what you're saying. If they revitalise, like they've done with, I think Abe's Odyssey now, they've got like a HD, remix or whatever. But I want a Crash Bandicoot 4 game, a proper canon. Takes place after the third one.
Yeah.
Maybe even what they did with Sonic 4 Episode 1, not fucking episode 2, but the first one, and I think that worked well.
And bring back, right, you can put your spin on it, but bring back the original character designs, because the last Mind Over Mutant and that, what the fuck was going on? Alright, some of the designs were okay, but it just wasn't Crash.
Dr. Engine, what the?
Yeah, I know. Like,
honestly,
I know, what a mess. But other than that, leave your comments, just give us your ideas of what you believe, and if you are a Crash fan, and just jump on board with what's going on here, can you actually believe that Crash has gone downhill like this? It's disgusting.
It is.
But yeah,
they're just throwing it away, you know.
Like and comment and subscribe. It's honestly, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And we keep doing these speculation series videos on other things.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
But Crash Bandicoot, if anything happens, of course we'll keep you up to date. And thank you, OC Dave, for joining me today.
My pleasure, Mr. Pears.
Pooh Pears. And thank you, and good night.
Yep, bless you all.
See ya.
See ya, bye.
Bye.